Hey, I'm Weekend Gabe, and you're checking out Weekend at Gabe's, and thanks for checking out this latest episode. While you're here, also follow us on these social medias at Weekend Gabe, at Weekend at Gabe's, and also at The Real Sam Crane. Thanks for checking us out.
You're checking out Weekend at Gabe's with Weekend Gabe, the real Sam Crane, super producer extraordinaire. And follow us on these socials at Weekend Gabe, at Weekend at Gabe's, and also at the real Sam Crane. It's Thursday, so you know what that means. It's Thursday Thunnies.
Oh, yes, America. The segment that is so poorly named, we have to have a laugh about it every single time.
Absolutely. Joining us here on Weekend at Gabe's, she's a Walter Payton graduate, high school Payton. I don't even know. It's just Payton High School, I guess, right? Anyway, she graduated from there. She's been holding down the comedy game for a while now. Kells Tha Komic joining us on Weekend at Gabe's. Good evening. How are you?
Ooh, hi. I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Great. I mentioned the
y'all got the air horns.
Yeah,
we
no,
bought
we're
it.
out here. We are out here. I like you are actually super lucky to come on this show when you have, because everything looks much better now. We have an air horn. You see all these clouds around. Everything's very free. It's very nice. It wasn't like this before. Gabe was doing the show by himself. Everything was like dark and scary. Cobwebs in the corner. You know what I'm saying?
Shots fired.
It's fine. Go back 30 episodes from now, and trust me that the game looks a lot different. So we turned on the lights. Upgraded some features. Got a sound effects budget. Things are looking up.
Word.
But thank you so much for giving us your time, Kells Tha Komic. You were out there. You've been on Zanies. I think you were at the. Where else have we seen you at? It was the Laugh Factory as well, or have you not touched there as well? Right.
Yep, I've been to Laugh Factory actually. September 30th. You can catch me back at the Laugh Factory. Me and Dario, we're going to be hosting for Topics. So I'll be back there. I've been kind of all around. If they let Black women do comedy there, I have probably been there to do comedy.
That implies there's a place where they don't let that happen. You want to call somebody out? Because we love getting messy here on Weekend at Gabe's.
All I'm gonna say is I go where I am appreciated.
There you go. I'm glad you mentioned Black women in comedy, because you had Wanda Sykes, Tiffany Haddish, Samora, Lunel, Monique, Aisha Tyler, all these great comics. There's so many more that I didn't mention, but were any of those comics aspiring for you to step into this game, looking at their success and their abilities to shine through a more male-heavy dominated culture? Did they give you the inkling to do this?
I respect them straight up, but they weren't like my driving force to be a comedian. I wasn't like, ooh, look at those Black women comedians. I want to do that. That wasn't the case at all. But I do respect them. I think that as far as Black women in comedy, that is like a very individual thing, because I don't think I've seen one Black woman have the same like lane of comedy. So I appreciate that. There's not one Black female comedian that I feel like I have molded myself after or anything like that. I kind of have, I love Wanda Sykes. She is like, oh, love her to death. But as far as like my blueprint, I kind of jumble it all up and then try to not do any of that.
Got it. You want your own identity, right?
Absolutely.
I definitely want my own identity. I know like Black women in like the 90s and early 2000s, like their comedy was very much like raunchy and like in your face, and I kind of just hold the mic and hope you laugh. So
No, absolutely.
That brings me to my next question, which is, how do you, because we've had a couple comedians on here, and actually first, let's start with the name of this damn segment. First off,
you brought it up and I was like, I was gonna add.
It's horrendous. And I'll let you know, we tell this story every time, but it was Friday Funnies in the middle of the pandemic when you guys weren't outside and performing. But now the comedians are outside and performing on Friday nights. We couldn't book any comedians for like a month. And so we're like, oh God, we got to do the show on Thursdays now. and we have not come up with a good name, clearly, as you can tell. So if you have any suggestions for us on that front, please do let us know.
I mean, once you tell the story, I kind of like Thunnies now. Now that you tell the story, I feel like it fits. It's your thing.
I kind of feel like it's a nice nod to Mobb Deep and QB and just call him Thun, like everyone's a Thun.
Okay.
So maybe, but I don't think anyone who doesn't know anything about that is gonna get it and just think it's stupid. So I don't know. And we're sort of.
I was like, I didn't know like what was expected of me. Like I don't have any Thunny material, so I was like, I hope I can be Thunny with them because.
No, you're killing it. You're doing great.
So how do you prepare for a show? Like you got a gig, you walk in. I know everybody's got their own thing. Are you off the note card? Are you off the phone with it ever? What needs to be in place for you to do your thing?
It's kind of evolved. When I first started, I was like, I would write the set out, then I would like practice it a bunch of days before whenever I was booked. Then like the day of, I would go over it a bunch of times. And I don't do that anymore. I like once you know your jokes, you know your jokes. So
right.
I'm kind of freeballing it. A little bit now. Like I will pop up to an event and like as long as I know my jokes and I kind of have an idea of the outline of how I want my set to go, I kind of just want to dive into some crowd work, do some like organic funny, and then like jump into some more scripted jokes on the back end.
Mm-hmm. But you do still write, correct?
No, definitely. I write. Oh no, I write and like I will incorporate old jokes, throw in a few new jokes, definitely. Yeah, I don't go unprepared. I'm not like, okay, guys, across the road. So but there's more of a, I'm trying to loosen it up. I found that like a more vulnerable and a more like organic back and forth with like the audience and like lead into your more written out jokes is a better feel for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is the construction, or is there a formula to making the joke? Like you have to have a piece and another piece, and then it equals out to something. Like how does that? How does your brain wrap around constructing a joke? And then what makes you think it's a good joke?
If I see someone else have some type of like involuntary body movement towards something funny that happens, I'm like, okay, let me write that down. Like if you snort, if you cry, if you like have a crazy laugh or something, I'm like, okay, that's a little funny.
What if they hit you with this one and it's like, oh God, this one, you know what I mean?
So usually I'm like, okay, that's trash. Let me bag that. But lately, I've kind of been like going back into that trash bag. Like, was that the wrong audience? Let me see. If I get two, then I'm like, okay, that's trash. But if I get one, like it might just be you,
Yeah, no, facts.
You made a little bit of noise during the pandemic when you were like doing these voiceover videos of Mayor Lightfoot.
Absolutely hilarious, by the way.
Oh my goodness.
I watched a lot of those today. A lot of those today, and they were all very, very funny.
What about her is funny? Because I think a lot of people who would look at her like there's not a lot of a comedic appeal about her, but you were able to yank that from her movements and her body movements. So what about her makes you laugh?
Everything for me. It's just like because it's like, okay, I'm this serious mayor and I'm trying to be, but it's like, lady, we see through you. 1, 2, your whole presence, like you dress like Harold Washington. Your haircuts are few and far between. So it's like, okay. And like she has this very like mild manner approach to like her speeches. And I'm like, girl, it's a pandemic. So I thought that was hilarious. So I was like, okay, let me just do like these monotone voiceovers. Like, yeah, guys, stop messing with me. And they hit. She even reshared one of them, and I was like, oh.
Would that surprise you? Would that throw you for a loop? Like if you're mid-set and because the mayor's not going to come at the beginning of the show. They kind of walk in 5 minutes into the set. If she walks in at the back of the room and you're mid-impression, are you like, oh God, I'm definitely gonna get swimming in the Chicago River?
If she does that, I hope she's ready for her 10 minutes because I'm bringing her up on stage. We pointing out what shoes she got on. I'm gonna ask her what her barber's name is. We gonna get into
flamer.
it, okay? Like, let's go.
Oh my goodness!
It wouldn't even faze me. I'd be like, okay, we have arrived. Let's talk about it.
I wanted to ask. I read that you're West Side girl, so you represent. Throw it up all day. Your favorite meal is Uncle Remus. Now, I bring this up because I want to get your take on this. I was recently in a meeting just this morning, and this story came up about Harold's versus Remus, Uncle Remus, and someone said in the chat space, if you take Uncle Remus's sauce and put that blend it with Harold's chicken, you got the ultimate feast. Is that possible for a West Side woman like yourself to dare blend Remus with Harold's and take that step?
So, like, that whole situation sounds mad blasphemous. like if somebody held a gun to my head and was like, you better eat this Chicago ass chicken, like, I would definitely do it. And it probably would be a hit. So, like, ooh, like, I might do it and never tell anybody that I did it. So. But I'm Uncle Remus all day, 100%.
My whole thing is the logistics, right? Because, like, you can't get from one restaurant to the other. And it's not like every Harold's has got the same good chicken. Like, some of the Harold's is absolutely ass. Like,
Thank you.
That's it. It just be what it is. It seems like a lot of work, like, just for sauce. Like, if you're at Remus already, you may as well just get the chicken. Like, what's wrong with you?
Thank you. I mean, like, just as the experiment, I might, like, have them like, look, I brought a wing in here, and could you squirm it on here? But, like, I definitely would not be, like you said, going from the South Side trying to go to the West Side or anything like that.
That's a lot of work.
You could just have
that's a cool little 2-hour round trip. Like, easily.
You see what I'm saying? When you could just have the superior Uncle Remus, So.
That's hilarious,
man. That's a good story. All right, I wanted to ask a little bit about Walter Payton College Prep, because obviously you Chicago, you rep hard. Is there for me, when I look back at high school and my interactions with, like, teachers and stuff, there are so many funny moments. Was there a moment that sticks out to you from Walter Payton that you were like, this is actually funny, like, looking back on it?
Was there a moment that was funny? Okay, so the way Walter Payton was set up, they did not have, like, the traditional, like, when it opened, they had all 4 years. The first year, they started out with our class and then just brought in classes.
Right.
So we didn't have, like, upperclassmen or anything like that. So we kind of, like, set the tone, and we had our first pep rally. And we didn't have, like, a pep rally to base it off of. And this one guy, he decided he was going to do an Aaliyah tribute. I don't even know why, because this was like 2004 or whatever, but, like, we all knew that he loved Aaliyah, like, all of us knew, and it was like wasn't that many people there, so we was like, okay, go ahead. He pulls out this towel. We don't know where the towel came from, but he takes the towel, he's like doing this dance with the towel, he prangs the towel, puts it in between his legs. We're like fresh 13 to 15 years old, like, looking at this man. He got the towel, like, doing this with his legs. He takes it, does like this in the air, and flings it to the physics teacher, and it just falls on his face like that. And we were like, oh, okay. And so, like, now this physics teacher has this balls towel on his face and, like, has to act like, oh, yeah, this was a great performance. And it was not. I mean, the performance was good, but it was, like, also we just saw that towel touch his balls. So
when you listen to Aaliyah's music these days, does that story come up in the back of your mind?
all of the time. Like literally, randomly, if I just see a word, I will text him like, "Remember that time you put your ball towel on Mr. Dyson? Like it was crazy."
Just gyrating on the towel and like, here you go, splash.
Literally, and he was like, "All right, got enough juices on here, voila!" And just tossed it.
But did he sing? Did he at least give it? Did he do that or?
He wasn't singing. He was dancing.
Oh, he was just performing to the record.
A woman, and he was like really getting into it, and like I think it was a few splits in there too. It was like really theatric, and also here are my ball juices on a towel.
Wow. God,
theatric and gross, which honestly, all the best performances are both theatrical and gross at the same time.
Exactly.
That's awful. Well, what made you get what made you give this a shot at doing comedy? Were you already doing like sketches or improv? Like what kind of like led you into this world?
This is funny. So if you ask anyone in my family, I've been funny since I was a kid, supposedly. I was just speaking my truth and people were laughing, but they called it funny. And I was working in corporate America, like making good money, like doing what adults are supposed to do. And I just started having like reoccurring panic attacks. Like nobody's doing anything. I'm just having reoccurring panic attacks. And so I started like going off at work. Like, this is crazy. Nobody should be like having this much stress. Like, this is about grass. Like, it was just all type of crazy stuff. But as I'm like going off, people were laughing. Like the general manager's laughing. Like the whole office is laughing. And I'm like as serious as I can be.
You're crying for help and they're laughing at you.
Like literally like, guys, I don't understand. And they're just like, ha, 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 free pizza for today. And I'm like, no, that's not gonna help. So I went to my desk one day after like really in my mind thinking like I just gave it to these people. And the manager walks past my desk and he goes, phew, like face red. He's like, you should be a comedian. And I was like offended. Like, what? I want people to take me seriously. Like, this is crazy. And so like a few more months of this went on and I was like, okay, what should I do? I don't want to work for other people. What talent do I have that I could like try to make money off of? And like people were just walking past me like, you should be a comedian. Like, oh my God, you should be a comedian. I was like, no. Serious things, guys. Like, what should I do? And I put up a Facebook status and like, do you think I should be a comedian? And it went crazy. People were like, yes, you should be a comedian. Do that now. And I still was like, maybe. And then I got a new job. And in the midst of this, I tore my ACL. And I told one of the guys at the job, like, I kind of want to be a comedian. And he was like, no way. That doesn't even make sense to me. I don't believe you. And so while I was out on leave having the surgery, he sent me an email and was like, if you could write me 2 sets, I will get you on the stage. And I was like, whatever. Like,
with one leg? He's going to get you on the stage with one leg?
With one leg. I was like, okay, like, fine, let's do it. And mind you, I had to Google, like, how do you write a comedy set? So, like, I wrote these 2 sets, and he was like, yo, this is really good for you, like, never having to tell a joke. So, it, like, how everything coincided, they had, like, gave me the all clear to, like, be able to go on stage. I went to my buddies on April 1st, and that is my anniversary date of comedy. I have not stopped hitting stages since.
Wait, April 1st this year?
No, of 2019, and then yeah. So
okay,
not this year.
I was about to say, wow. All right, so roughly 2 years you've been professionally performing. That's fantastic.
And you make money on the side with selling the merch. I want to just touch on the merch real quick while we got you. You got the shirt on, designed by an 8-year-old. Am I right about that?
Yeah. I think she was 9 at the time. She's a little bit older now. Yeah. Well, actually, no. I think maybe she was early teens, but she's young.
Word.
And I was just like, so originally I wore a hoodie that my good friend made me, and at the bottom of it she put like at Kells Tha Komic. and people were like, "Oh my God, where can I get your merch?" And I was like, "I don't have any. What are you guys talking about? Like, I don't have any merch." They're like, "No, we really want to buy your merch." And I'm like, "Okay, well, one day, maybe." And so like I would just put out like, "Oh, does anybody know how to do a logo?" And a friend I used to work with was like, "My kid, draws." And I was like, "Send me a sample." It was the best one I saw. So I was like, "Let's go."
Has she come back looking for royalties yet? Like, how many of these shirts have you moved?
You know what? I sent her and her mom a shirt, and anytime they want a shirt, they get in whatever color they want, okay?
There you go. Well, one of the funniest things that you put online was the Transfinancial video. That shit is hilarious. Where did that idea come from?
That wasn't a joke. That was true.
That was another one of her anxiety attack rants. And she was just doing it for YouTube, and then things took off.
I had saw like some meme or something, and they were saying like they were transfinancial, and I thought like that is a great word, like transfinancial. And then I don't know. I was watching one of those. Remember those old school like don't abuse the animals, like whatever.
And
it reminded me.
The angels.
Yeah, it reminded me of that song, and I was like, I too am hurting and would like donations. Why don't I make a commercial for myself? And I received a whopping $3 from that post. So
you are really, you might have to start paying that little girl some royalties. With that level of income, you might
definitely. We're gonna have to up it from shirts to hoodies. I got you.
Word.
Tell people again when you're gonna be performing at the Laugh Factory. I think you said September.
We will be there Thursday, September 30th.
30th. There you go.
The whole Be Positive clan will be there, representing. We got a dope lineup. Big Pena is headlining. It's gonna be dope.
Hell yeah!
We're excited.
Hell yeah!
All right, sounds good. Kells, you know what? We got 1 minute left. I want to ask this, Kells. Did you ever think about changing your name because of R. Kelly fucked it up?
Technically, when I started, I wanted to be Kells with a Z, but he spells his with a Z. So I was like, let's do it with an S, less rapey.
Less rapey. Yeah. There you go. That fixed. Love it. Kells Tha Komic is going to be over at the Laugh Factory September 30th. Go check her out if you can. Otherwise, where can people find you and keep the laughs going?
Instagram, I'm more active at Kells Tha Komic. It's on all my merch, KellsThaKomic on all social media platforms. Apparently Twitch is a thing now that I found out today. Maybe I'll get one of those. I don't know how that works. But
Twitch is fun. The kids are on Twitch. Us older folk, we gotta relearn it.
She was like, I'm not playing video games. That's all you know about Twitch is that's where kids play video games.
Yep.
So we
video
do other
games
things.
and shaking ass. That's what I heard.
Wait, where's the shaking ass videos at?
Hold on. Can you locate those? we might need to see a few of those just to check them, for authenticity. You know what I mean?
I'm shocked. I was, but you heard through these internets. That's what we be doing over here. Right. Well, thank you so much for joining us for Thursday Thunnies. Kells Tha Komic joining us here on Weekend at Gabe. We appreciate your time so much.
Thank you for having me.
All righty. All right. That's going to be our time tonight. We are officially on vacation.
No, I'm on vacation. It's just your birthday, man. So listen. I want to, if this is the last time I talk to you for a week's time, and trust me, Gabe, I love you a lot, but I sincerely hope that it is. I wish you the best of birthdays, my friend. More life to you. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, hide your kids, hide your families. Weekend Gabe is outside. He's not contagious anymore, but he was contagious a little while ago.
No.
So
I'm about to raw dog this air. I am 3 months immune. They tell me that I'm immune from the virus for up to 3 months, so I'm about to raw dog all this air. So just make way. That's all I gotta say. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, no, more life to you, my friend. It is an absolute honor to do this show with you. And 76, this is episode 76.
Correct. Yep.
76 episodes deep, man. You're really doing it. You're really doing it. Look at the clouds. Look at everything. It looks beautiful. Fantastic. But you know what, America? We have earned a damn break because we've done 76 episodes. Well, I haven't, but he has.
You're up for more than half of those now.
Yeah,
we're getting
now I'm upwards of 50%. And yeah, man, we do this a lot. It's a lot of work to do this show. Not a lot of people see what goes on behind the scenes, sees me up late mixing down videos like I'm about to do. But we appreciate everybody who watches, all 70 plus, I think, followers on Twitch. Fantastic people, all 55 plus subscribers on YouTube. Fantastic people. And every guest that we've had on the show has been absolutely amazing, including our two guests tonight, Rita J and Neek with the new album High Priestess, and Kells Tha Komic, who is performing at the Laugh Factory on September 30th. So get out to see all of the comedians. Go check out our YouTube. We will be posting clips, hopefully every day, one a day. Of all
Gabe, make sure you post the clips.
Right. All of the clips that we have not caught up with yet, we are going to get those up. So
exactly.
I think our last clip that we posted was of Lhasa. So there is a lot of work to be done.
There's a lot of great interviews that we've done since then. So yeah, we'll definitely try to backtrack and get those up. So follow us on Instagram, all the social media platforms at Weekend Gabe, at Weekend at Games, at The Real Sam Crane. Enjoy Florida. Safe travels. Bring back something Disney for the kids. You owe us that.
All right. I'm going to bring something back for Benny just by himself because I think he's done, he's been through the most in this process.
This is true. Yeah, absolutely. Now he's 10 days ago, my child has changed since I last seen him. So he's a completely different child.
He's a whole year older now. That's what's crazy. Is that, he was walking before, but he's definitely doing handsprings now.
Dude, today was crazy. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of their Thursday night. Be safe out there. We'll do it again in a couple weeks, so stay tuned for updates on our socials at Weekend Gabe, at Weekend at Gabe's, at The Real Sam Crane. By following all three and putting them into your lives, your internet experience will increase by at least 2% today. So
2%? 2%? Tell yourself, you know what? Those are the numbers. And when you're a scientist, you have to report what the numbers are. So, it might be marginal America, but 2% goes a long way. Imagine if you got 2% less taxes on your taxes this year. You would be rolling in some dough.
Man, I just got the 3% raise. So listen, I'm not mad. That's like at least another $20. I can get cheese on my burger now. Look at that. I'm shining. All right, everyone. Don't forget to share, support, and show love. Those are the 3 S's that we follow on this show, and you'll be a better person for it. All right, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. We'll be back in a couple weeks. Peace.
Peace. Oh, wait. Hold on.
Oh, don't do it.
I did it, baby. It's vacation time. I'm already in Florida. Don't fucking call me. Don't call me at all.
I don't even know your number. I'm deleting your number. I'm blocking your number.
I'm talking to the people, but definitely you too. Don't call me either. Good night, America. We out.
Hey, I'm Weekend Gabe. Thanks for checking out this latest episode of Weekend at Gabe's. Click on any of the links swirling around my head and also hit the subscribe button while you're here. Thanks for checking out us here on YouTube.